I just want y'all to hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know what you think about black men wearing dresses. Let me know what you figure about that. What if you think it's a good thing, if you think it's a bad thing, if you think it's just funny. It could just be entertainment. It could just be comedy. Are these guys losing themselves? Are these guys trying to, become something they not just to make somebody laugh? All right, what's good, everybody, man? It's your boy. I'm hitting y'all up again. Yo, I want to talk to y'all about what my man Cat Williams was talking about on his, interview with man, what's dude name? Shay Shay. So he had to talk about black men wearing dresses and how emasculating and demasculating all that shit is. And we all have seen it and heard about it. And everybody got their opinion, so I definitely want y'all to hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about black men wearing dresses in comparison to white men wearing dresses. So let's talk about it. So I was listening to the show Math Hoffa, and I heard some interesting points. Ice Wear Vizzo, he a Detroit rapper. He was on there, and he was talking about Cat Williams and what he thought about what Cat Williams think about people wearing dresses. And we all again know that Cat Williams didn't like it. He talked about what's his name? The guy from the radio show in Atlanta, Ricky Smiley. He talked about everybody who wore a dress pretty much. Tyler Perry. He talked about what's the other guy who wore a dress that's famous? Even Martin Lawrence. Even a young guy, Brandon T. Jackson, he talked about them. So he had his opinion about each one of those people. So I want y'all to like and subscribe and all that stuff. And let me let y'all play. I'm gonna play this little sound bite and we're gonna talk about it. So let's go.
Know what I think that was? What Cat Williams, what he don't understand what happened was, bro, he watched Kevin Hart work his paw, he worked his hand, you know what I'm saying? He seen a nigga that know how to use and take advantage of them relationships the right way and deal with them motherfuckers and catch that opportunity. Dude just don't understand that part. He don't understand that type of
but at the same time,
he's just not on that con-
With Fargo.
All right, we got a little stupido commercial. So we're gonna get right back to it in 2 seconds. It'll pop right back on. Or they gave me a double up on the commercials. YouTube, and we love YouTube. All right, so let's get back at it.
independent. Some people want to stay independent. Some people want to do what they want to do when they want to do it the way they want to do it. As much as I respect that, as much as I can dig that, the guy who's not on that kind of time gets to be Kevin Hart. The more people who feel, and it doesn't have to be true, it doesn't have to be true, but my experience in this business, people work with the people that they like. If they like you, if they feel you cooperative, they feel you, they can get along with it. But that's where I was getting at. That come from nigga.
No, I'm with you.
Having a relationship and using them bitches.
What happens when cooperative means, oh, he gonna put the dress on?
Yeah.
What happens when that
Okay,
does that?
if putting the dress on
I heard a nigga say that was art.
is against your morality,
He
said that was art.
Yo, I think Kevin Hart, he did a joint where he was like, it's our art.
What the
Bro,
putting the dress
putting
on?
on the dress on it. I mean, hey, Marlon. It was Marlon. My bad.
No, nigga, look.
All right, let's stop right there. So Marlon Wayans said, and he just got it wrong. He said Kevin Hart, but Marlon Wayans said that it's art for a comedian to put on a dress. And if you think about it, it is really not art. It's about money. And later on in this interview, one of the guys say it's about being a comic, just being a comedian, trying to make people laugh, and that's what you do. What you do to make people laugh. It's what comics do, and I agree with that too. But historically, in the history of television, and that's just where a lot of black people are just not missing, or are missing a point. And a lot of these guys too, which I fuck with everybody on Math Alpha show, even Ice Word Vizzo, he's the interview at this time, is the history of media and the history of television. So in the white people's productions or video or filmmaking since the beginning of time, which is one of their favorite movies, is Birth of a Nation, which is like a movie that was about slavery, or actually about the KKK running down freed slaves because one or two may have raped a woman. This is a movie. It was shot by D.W. Griffith. He was like a master filmmaker at that time. He did things in filmmaking that they do today. Like, for instance, cross-cutting. So cross-cutting would be one thing is happening right here, and then the camera cuts to this. So, for instance, in that movie, Birth of a Nation, the KKK would be riding down on their horses, and then it would be cut into a white woman being raped by a black guy. Now these aren't real black guys in this movie. They had black face on. They put makeup on to look like black people. This was the actors in the movie Birth of a Nation. This is 1915. The movie was so big and so famous, it made like a new revelation and revolution for the KKK. Like they had their numbers was up so big, they did a march on Washington in Washington D.C. They made that movie like a classic movie, like it went into like the archives of the Congress or some shit like that. This is real history. You can Google it. So, make a long story short, their history in the media and television from white people, and especially at that time and on up, is that black people are dumb. Black people are over sexualized. Black people love white women and will do anything to get them, even hurt them, and so and fuck them definitely. But the idea is that black men are over sexualized, so then they have different kind of characterizations that they have put in their movies over the decades, even in their plays. So you would have the black man that sings whenever the movie is going on. When they get to him, he's jolly and happy. You know, I remember one of the first movies, and this actually was the first black man who got an Oscar, but this is back in the day. So he didn't even get a TV representation. He even got one before Hattie McDaniels. And the movie, I forgot the name of the movie, but the song was like zippity doo dah, zippity a. It was some shit like that. And I was a kid and I watched this movie. I'm a child, but this movie was even before my time. This movie was so big, it got this black dude an Oscar, but again, he was an old man and it never was even televised or nothing like that. So it's way back in the day. So, but his character was just this jolly black man who never really had a care in the world. He wasn't really dealing with the ways of the world, like whatever the issues is that people deal with. But he was just this happy-go-lucky black man. But that wasn't the reality of a black man at that time. It was rough. He had no money. He's living in fucked up scenarios. He barely even was able to watch a TV, let alone have one. So this is just an early part of the times, and this is just history. But that's not the gist of it. As far as getting back to wearing a dress, one of the main components of those characterizations is that a black man is not sexual, or it's this. If a black man comes around a woman, he can't be sexual. That's the idea. So for instance, they would call this guy Buck. So he would be like a man who would come around females and he don't want no sex. He just around them. And if he wants sex, it's only because the woman suggested, or it's only because the woman wants him, but it's not necessarily that he wants her. So for instance, that movie Green Mile, you saw that movie back in the day. He would be considered a buck in the historical facts of what filmmaking and movie making is as far as black people. But he never had a love interest in a movie. He never had a girlfriend. He wasn't interested in a girl. He was just interested in helping white women. And you can almost say that was a double one because it was called a magical Negro as well. So the magical Negro is a black man with these superpowers that can help white people get through their issues. It's so many of them. You also got the tragic mulatto. That's the black woman who wants to fit in with white people, so she tried to pass as white and forget about her life as a black person, which is who raised her as a person in real life. But she or he was accepted in white America, so they want to disconnect from their family as the black. So it's just different tropes that they've had in filmmaking that still have going on today. So one of them, again, is outsmarting the black person. So you might see a movie today and it'll be a black person and the person is a white character, but they're going to get away. You already know that this person's movement in this movie is they're going to get away. So the cop that they'll have searching this person up, or being a detective, or even a cop that just knock at the door, it'll be a black person, because that's to let you know by the person watching the movie and the audience that person, the character in the movie, is going to get away. He's going to be able to outsmart this character, outsmart this cop. So that's really how a lot of these stories are wrote and written. And you'll pick up on some of this stuff if you continue to watch movies all your life. But the trope of wearing a dress, again, was popularized by Flip Wilson in the 60s. But at this time, it was no black people on TV. So for him to be one of the first black men to have a talk show, variety show, whatever they called it at that time, it was historical. So he had that, and then one of the characters he put on there was Geraldine, and it's historical. It was funny. They did before our time. So characters have went on. But when you think about filmmaking, artistry, making movies, cinematically, black people, black exploitation, filmmakers like Spike Lee, like Melvin Van Peebles, the filmmakers of the past, Oscar Micheaux, they were men and they were trying to put stories out there to uplift black ideals and the history of a black people. This is just what it was. I mean, for whatever they plight were, whoever these artists were in history, you heard about people that did movies about blackness and black people, from Boys in the Hood to even Friday. But those characters really didn't have so much of a man acting like a woman in it. But then when you think about Hollywood, who did they give the $1 billion to? They gave it to Tyler Perry. What's his major characterization? A black man wearing a dress. What does that mean? If he's a woman in his characterization in his shows that he writes himself, he's the producer, he's the creator, he's the writer, he's the director. If he's the person who depicts this character, which is a funny character and it make a lot of money, there's nothing wrong with him being an artist and creating his creations. But if this character is a woman and wears pantyhose, then by natural effect, he's not going to be interested in women. He's not going to want a girlfriend. He's not going to be interested in girls. So his own writing, his own psychological ideal of being a creator is to create a character and a trope that's already historically in the industry. It's already an industry standard that say that when a black man get in a movie, he don't get the girl. When a black man get in a movie, he's not going to have a sex scene. When a black man get in a movie, he's not going to be interested in having a family or saving a woman, and there'll be a female, a kid, and a woman by the end of the movie. You don't see that. If you saw the movie Jack Reacher, that's exactly what happened in 1 and 2. By the end of the movie, he was with a girl, a guy. He was a guy and a female, and it looked like a family, even though they was a broken family, even though they wasn't even from the same, they met in the movie, and that's how they became a family at the end of the movie. I'm not saying that they got to be a family, but he had a man, woman, child visually to see that at the end of the movie, that gives you a comfort saying, oh, okay, wow. They was able to come together and overcome the people who they were coming against them. So, but when you look at a movie like, let's say Pelican Brief with Denzel Washington, where he's saving a woman or going to make sure he saves the girl by the end of the movie, he doesn't get to kiss her. He don't get to have a sex scene with her. He don't get to hold her and bring her close to him. Or by the end of the movie, stand at the doorstep and say, hey, you want to go on a date after this? And then it's like this comfort that rolls over you in the movie. It's just everything is safe. She goes his way, her way, he go his way, and that's the closure. So it stays consistent. And these writers are doing this because they understand that that's how you write a movie. You make a movie where the guy don't get the girl. It's just how it's been going in history. That's why it's not really something you think about, because it's so normalized in film and what has been happening for hundreds of years. It's been 100 and something years of filmmaking. So it's just been natural when people kind of do this. So when somebody like Tyler Perry can recreate that in his own characterizations that he write, they're actually gonna reward that. So it's really that not that you shouldn't be doing it, but you should understand the history and everything I'm saying. You don't have to take my word for it. Look these things up, because it's actually historical facts and documentaries that's out right now on Netflix and shit like that you can look at that can give you more clarity on the stuff I'm conveying right now. But this is just me, 20 something years in the game as a filmmaker, having to study this shit from a white perspective and a black perspective, that I kind of have a little bit more historical facts to convey. But I just want y'all to hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know what you think about black men wearing dresses. Let me know what you figure about that. If you think it's a good thing, if you think it's a bad thing, if you think it's just funny. It could just be entertainment. It could just be comedy. Are these guys losing themselves? Are these guys trying to become something they not, just to make somebody laugh? So let me know in the comment section what you think. This your boy Hood. I'm signing off on this video. See you in a minute. Like and subscribe and share this message for your homie. Peace.